Breaking details emerging in last night's chaotic chase in Akron that ended with officers shooting a suspect in a semi-truck who hit several cars and police cruisers. Michelle Nix with new information tonight.
Sources say what began as a domestic and an alleged stalking situation here at the IHOP in Springfield Township turned into a dangerously wild ride and police pursuit through two communities. In the process, an officer broke his leg. Several others suffered minor injuries. The suspect only stopped when police fired shots, injuring him. And we're told the suspect may have driven here from as far away as Tennessee. A sprawling crime scene Saturday night on East Market Street when at least two Akron police officers shot and injured the suspect driving this semi-truck. Our 19 News camera captured video of the bullet holes in the windshield that brought the suspect's dangerous effort to elude police to a dramatic end. At the IHOP on South Arlington Road where this all began, I was able to speak off camera with the victim of the alleged stalking, who said the suspect from Tennessee made threats and customers called Springfield Township Police. As officers tried to get the suspect out of the truck, he took off. One officer suffered a concussion and broken leg in the chaos as the semi-driver took off down South Arlington Road and onto I-77 North, leading officers on a chase where he crossed over into Akron. Sources say the suspect, when he left the IHOP, was driving the cab of a truck, but somehow during the pursuit, he hitched onto a trailer in Akron. A trailer, according to sources, that may have been stolen. When Akron officers spotted the semi-driver in a parking lot on East Market, he took off again. Lieutenant Michael Murphy with Akron Police.
The driver of the semi-truck went to exit the parking lot, struck multiple cruisers en route, headed westbound on East Market Street. They struck a number of civilian vehicles as well before striking another police cruiser when our officers encountered him and fired multiple shots, striking him at least one time. And the suspect was transported to an area hospital with what are believed to be non-life-threatening injuries.
The Springfield Township Police Chief is expected to release the police report and body cam video on Monday. We are working to learn more about the suspect in this case and find out how those officers are doing. We do know the suspect remains hospitalized. Reporting in Springfield Township, Michelle Nix, 19 News.